What's up guys, DBGO here. Now, I love Splatoon. It is probably my favorite game series of all time. But there's a lot of things in the series that really bothers me that kinda don't really matter, but I'm gonna talk about it anyways. One thing I want to talk about is the lack of content to do in Splatsville. Splatsville is the biggest hub area we have gotten in the entire series, and yet only 10 of the buildings are interactable. In the corner of a map, there is a 3-story balcony that you can't even jump off of. A thing I liked about the first game, which you could still technically do in the third one, were these platforms that let you jump onto the next balcony. It's like small details like those that it just makes it feel more rewarding. I really wish the shops on the side of the map were interactable. I feel like they should sell you at least some items. When you walk up to it, it plays music like any other shop in the game would. So I'm assuming during development that they probably had something to do with that in mind, but scrapped it near the end. Another issue I have with the game is the shell out machine. It doesn't matter because the majority of the time I'm getting low level tickets or table turf cards. The game loves to give you these things, and I feel like if you have at least 500 hours logged in this game, you're gonna have all of them unlocked by now. And if you get a card that you already have, it's going to give you currency that you can exchange it to get more cards. I understand that table turf is the new mode that Nintendo wants you to play, but realistically, no one's going to be playing Splatoon for a card game. I wish it was easier to see your friends' lockers. I really don't understand why it only has a select few people on my friends list to show for the lockers. I wish the game would give me a reason to play Salmon Run. So I'm pretty convinced that Nintendo doesn't care for Salmon Run. The last content update we have gotten for Salmon Run was 2024. 2024 was already a long time ago, and we still haven't gotten any new content updates for Salmon Run. Realistically, the only time I play Salmon Run is when there's a golden rotation or Big Run is happening. You don't even get XP for playing Salmon Run. I really wish Judd was more useful. In the last game, every time you would level up, he would give you a snail. In this game, he teaches you specials that you probably already know how to use. I understand that it's for the new players, but realistically, a new player is going to select a weapon and just try it out themselves. If Splatoon 3 was your first Splatoon game, have any of you guys actually learned anything from this cat? One thing I want to talk about is how you can't see your stats for your abilities. The gear ability system is awesome and provides a lot of player expression, but besides the vague descriptions that you get for some of the abilities, the game doesn't really tell you what they do. It would be cool for an in-game system that lets you check the stats of the abilities and what they actually change. And if you're running something like Stamper or Dynamo, you're going to want to know how much main saver is necessary to get an extra swing, for example. For Stamper, it is 2 subs, by the way. But to have an in-game stat checker would be really nice. Instead, we have to go on third-party websites like Sendu.
I was asking around, and one of my friends told me how when you're painting, the paint will be cut off like perfectly square. The only example I could get for this was on the Rainmaker podium, but I know there's other spots on different maps where the same thing happens. To address the elephant in the horse, I think we need to talk about the lack of minigames in Splatoon 3. On the Wii U, we had up to 4 minigames that we could play from. In Splatoon 2, we only had 1, but we had Squid Beats. Squid Beats by itself could probably be its own rhythm game. And for the third game, we get Table Turf. I'm aware this is the second time I'm ripping on Table Turf, but I really don't like this game mode, especially compared to what we've gotten in the past. Minigames are a beloved feature that most people miss without even realizing it. What's the point in even going to the amiibo box anymore? In the second game, the amiibo box gave you access to the series' first version of a photo mode. But fortunately, we have a way better photo mode system that lets us use it anywhere. So what's the reason of walking up to the box? The only purpose I see it serving is if you have an idle amiibo and you want to go back to the Grand Fest stage. It'd be really cool if we've gotten more dialogue from the amiibos. I really like the idea of discovering more lore about a character from its amiibo dialogue. But I think that's enough yapping from me today. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys enjoy my content, I recommend subscribing and to check out my other videos. And make sure to follow me on my Twitch where we occasionally run a lot of viewer games on Anarchy Open. I really had fun making this video and working on my commentary. If there's anything that bothers you guys about Splatoon that doesn't really matter, let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.